Welcome back to Wear Wigs with me. Today's video is a wig review recap. I am going to do an update on the wigs that I received in 2018. It has been nearly 2 years since I first started wearing wigs, so I want to revisit those original wigs. Let you guys know, how has the cap held up? How have the wig fibers held up? How do I feel about it today? And would I buy it again? So let's get started. This is Chloe by Envy in the color Creamed Coffee. Let's talk about the cap first. Envy caps are a little wimpy to me and they are inconsistent in sizing. I have Chloe and I have Dakota, and Dakota fits great. The ear tabs on Envy, and this was one of the things that bothered me about Envy caps, they're pretty wimpy. Although I say that, but on this cap, they actually give me pretty good coverage. But it is one of those wigs that I can put on without a wig grip and it like snaps to my head. Chloe fits small, not tight, small. I just can't get that like solid fit that I like from a wig cap. I'm always hesitant to buy Envy wigs. Now, almost 2 years later, the cap has held up. The lace front is still intact. Looks beautiful. The monofilament part, still good. The hair fibers, they tend to be, even when I first bought it, on the drier side and fine side. And I feel like they're just extra dry, kind of clumpy, and hard to detangle. And the amount that I have worn her, I think the hair fibers have held up very well. How do I feel about Chloe today? I love the style of Chloe. I think it looks very natural. I like the length of it. The thing I never liked also about Chloe, besides the small cap, was the dark root and the naughty lace front. Now, I'm kind of over the naughty lace front. I mean, as long as it's not tacky looking, but there are some wigs that I have that you can see the knots. Like, I don't think just anybody out in public could see them, but maybe I could notice them. And I tend to overlook that if I really like everything else about the style. Since I was never crazy about the cap and then the dark root bothered me, the knots tended to bother me. Overall, I like the style. I loved this cream coffee minus the root. Would I buy Chloe again? No. This is Mila by Renau in the color 1426. Mila's cap has held up beautifully. This is lace front and mono top. It's still very much intact, no fraying. The monofilament top is still all there. The cap still fits, super comfortable. So the cap's great. The hair fibers have gotten dry and tangly, a little hard to detangle. They're also a little bit fuzzier, but you know, I've worn Mila a lot. Even though this wasn't my favorite color, I was so excited when I got Mila, and as soon as I took it out of the box, I was like, oh my gosh, that's way blonder than I thought it was gonna be. But I was like, maybe I just need to get warmed up to it. Different colors are great. No, I never warmed up to it, but I loved the style so much that I did wear it. In wearing it, I have combed it, I've run my fingers through it, I've washed it, I've put product in it to get it away from my face. I've used It Stays on the lace, it removed beautifully. I feel like Mila has held up really well. And I know that the hair fibers have gotten dry and fuzzy and a little tangly because I've actually have a new Mila in the color 27MB. And in getting this new one, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how awesome these hair fibers are. They're just soft and silky, and with these curls, even like a little bit of bounce and just really good movement. This older Mila, I mean, the style has kept really nicely in this original Mila that's almost 2 years old, but it doesn't move. I mean, it actually moves pretty great, but it still doesn't move as naturally as my new Mila. How do I feel about Mila today? I still love it. I think it's a great wig. It's held up great. Would I buy it again? Absolutely, I did. And I'll continue to buy this style. I love this style. This is Maximum Impact in Fiery Copper. And it's almost not fair to this wig for me to do an update on it because, okay, let's go through it. The cap has held up beautifully. This is a Raquel Welch wig. It's a Raquel Welch cap. They're my favorite caps. I love everything about these caps, and they're substantial. And so it's held up really well. It's got a lace front. This lace has a little bit of box head because it spends a lot of time in the box, so I can feel that it's a little bit lifted off my forehead right here. If I was going to wear this, I would probably put a little It Stays on it, and that would lay right down. The mono top has held up well. It's a great cap. The hair fibers, listen, this was my first heat-friendly wig, and I destroyed it. And you can watch my video, and you basically watch me destroy this wig during my review. I had no idea how to treat a heat-friendly how to treat a heat-friendly wig. And when I got Maximum Impact, I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. I love this style. I just felt like amazing, and I immediately started putting my hands in there and flipping it from side to side and running my fingers through it. I mean, I can't even run my fingers through it hardly anymore. In doing that, in all the flipping from side to side, I just continued to stretch these hair fibers, and every time you stretch a heat-friendly hair fiber, it's like elastic. And it will go to a certain, like if you hit a knot and force your fingers through it, it coils back up, and that's what causes that fuzzy, frayed, ratty look. And I have steamed it, I have flat ironed it, I have tried to curl it, I have trimmed it. I have ruined this wig. And it's super sad because it is a gorgeous style, and these hair fibers feel amazing, the ones that I haven't ruined. The hair fibers, I can't give them a fair judgment on whether they lasted well or not because I didn't treat it well. Therefore, I don't wear it anymore because I can't. This fiery copper color, it always bugged me too. And it looks beautiful on camera. I even know I'm gonna look back at this and say, oh, that color looks so pretty. Why can't I get over it? In person, it just has a lot of burgundy, and it leans more on the purpley side of red, and I tend to stay away from that. It kind of makes my skin tone look purple. You can see behind me, this is, what is this? This is Fen. This is Aesthetica's R30 2826. This is what I'm comfortable in, or what I showed Mila in, that 27MB. Those two colors are my natural hair color. I have that reddish, orangey, golden blonde hair color. So that's what I'm comfortable in. And this is just like really in your face, red. I like the golden blonde around the face, and I think I would like fiery copper maybe in a shorter style. I just think Maximum Impact is too big of a wig for me to wear in this color. Would I buy Maximum Impact again? Yes, I would love, love, love to purchase another Maximum Impact. This is Radiant Beauty by Gabor in the color Rusty Auburn. Let's talk about the cap. The cap has held up beautifully. This is a Gabor cap. It fits me very comfortably. It's light, breathable. I don't have any complaints about this cap. The lace front has held up. The mono part has held up. Cap has held up great. The hair fibers actually have held up really nicely. The curl has stayed. The style has held up nicely. Kind of a common theme with these wigs that I bought almost 2 years ago are the dry hair fibers. And so maybe that's the way it is. And those of you that have been wearing wigs for a lot of years, let us know. What do you find is the typical life of a wig? And when do you find that the hair fibers start to dry out and just kind of poop out on you? I feel like the hair fibers have held up. I still reach for Radiant Beauty occasionally. This color is a little bit too brunette for me, but it's pretty, so I still wear it. Would I buy Radiant Beauty again? Yes, and I have. I purchased it in chocolate caramel. That's why I kind of can really notice that these hair fibers have dried out and don't detangle as easily as they used to. I tend to kind of not notice that that's happening in a wig until I get a new one, and then I'm like, oh, this is how this is supposed to feel and look. So the newer Radiant Beauty in chocolate caramel is just softer and just a little bit easier to kind of run my fingers through than this one is, and doesn't tangle as easy. Would I buy it again? Yep, I already did. Next up is Sweet Talk by Gabor, and this is in the color Chocolate Caramel. I love, love, love Sweet Talk. When I first got Sweet Talk, I didn't love, love, love Sweet Talk. It was a crazy mess to me, and I was like, I don't get it. How does this look cute on everybody else? I cannot figure this wig out. But now I love it. I just had to embrace the crazy, chaotic, fun style of Sweet Talk. It is great in the winter, it's great in the summer, it's just a really great wig. The cap has held up great. It's another Gabor cap. This one has a mono part and a lace front. Both still look great. The cap still fits great. If anything, if it's better. I feel like these hair fibers have held up really well. They are a little dry. I keep saying that. Yeah, it's a little dry. I have put contour cream on this. I have washed it quite a bit actually. I mess with it constantly, so I'm always putting my oils and probably dirt from my hands into it. For everything that this wig has been through, the hair fibers have held up great, and I think the style still looks super cute. Would I buy this wig again? Yes, I would. I think Sweet Talk will be a staple in my wig wardrobe. In fact, I reviewed Sweet Talk Luxury in Rusty Auburn for name brand wigs, and those hair fibers were silkier, which clued me in that this one was getting kind of dry. I think I actually prefer the old Sweet Talk with the permatease on top. The Luxury has the mono top. It's great, but I like the permatease up here that I can get the lift on top. The Luxury with the mono top, you can get the lift, but unless you put product in it or steam it that way, I guess, it will tend to fall and settle into itself. It still looks really cute, but I think I got used to this Sweet Talk, and so now I kind of prefer it. So there you have it. I would buy Sweet Talk again. This is Ren by Aesthetica in the color R30 2826. This is a super cute style. This is an Aesthetica cap. They fit me very comfortably. This cap has held up very well. It's got a lace front, still in great shape. Mono part, still looks great. No complaints on the cap. The hair fibers have actually held up super well. I wore Ren a lot when I first got it, and then I kind of fizzled out. How I feel about Ren right now is I think this is a really cute style. It's kind of that bob. It's a little bit longer in front, but just slightly. I just don't wear Ren that much, and I don't really know why. I feel like if I want to wear a style like this, I will reach for Mila by John Renau or Julianne by John Renau, which are a little bit longer. They're actually totally different styles from this, but I feel like I really don't have a definite answer on why I don't reach for Ren anymore. It's a super cute style. It's held up well. It's comfortable. But would I buy it again? No, I don't think I would. I think there's just other styles that I reach for, and so Ren kind of sits in the box. This is Statement Piece by Raquel Welch in the color Glazed Strawberry. I love it. The cap has held up great. I mean, it's a Raquel Welch cap. It's always, to me, probably going to hold up great unless I just get like a defect. It's still really comfortable, if not more comfortable than when I bought it. The hair fibers have not held up great on this one. They are clumpy and just kind of ratty, and that kind of happened soon for me for this one. I've washed it and conditioned it, like let it soak for a long time in conditioner, and this top layer feels great. It's light, and this under layer, I don't know, it just kind of went south fast for me. How do I feel about Statement Piece now? I love, love, love this style, and would I buy it again? Yes. I think sometimes you can have two wigs, the exact same style, color, everything, and one of them could last 2 years and one of them could last 2 months. I just think sometimes that happens. I think it's just kind of part of wig buying. There's not a lot we can do about that. You can, call up the manufacturer and throw a fit about it, but unfortunately, I think just sometimes some last longer than others, and this Statement Piece for me just didn't last all that long. I would absolutely buy it again because I love this style. This is Soft and Subtle by Gabor in the color Chocolate Caramel. Soft and Subtle is a super cute style. This cap has held up beautifully. The lace front still looks great. I mean, you can't go wrong with Gabor caps. There hasn't been one poop out on me yet. Kind of like the other ones that I've talked about so far. The hair fibers are a little bit drier than when I first bought it. Don't detangle as easily. But Soft and Subtle has held up really good for me. I wore it a lot when I first got it, and I feel like it is held its style really beautifully. Maybe more relaxed than when I first got it. But how I feel about it right now is I still think it's super cute. I don't tend to wear it that often because other styles have kind of come along in my wig wardrobe and replaced it, like Brooklyn by Aesthetica or Mila by Renau. It's just kind of that mid-length wavy style, and so those two have probably replaced Soft and Subtle for me. This one would make a really great first-time wig for somebody because this isn't a ton of hair. Soft and Subtle is actually a really nice amount of hair for a first wig because a lot of wigs can be so overwhelming, and this one just doesn't feel that way. So would I buy Soft and Subtle again? I absolutely would. This is a great style that's really held up. This is Brave the Wave by Raquel Welch in the color Glazed Strawberry. I love Brave the Wave. It's a Raquel Welch cap. It's one of those memory caps. It has held up beautifully. It's even more comfortable than the day I bought it. The lace front is still fabulous. Mono part. It's great. These hair fibers are still fantastic. I think they're a little bit drier than when I first bought it. I washed it not that long ago because I felt like, oh boy, that needs to sit in some conditioner for a while. But it's still a little tangly. Would I buy another one of these? Yes. I love this style. It is that kind of cropped bob, big barrel curls. I mean, you just put it on and look put together. I love that. This was my very first review I ever did, like selfie stick in front of a window, no mic. I think it was like 2 minutes long. I mean, I didn't hardly even talk about anything. So I re-reviewed this one not that long ago. So I'll post it in a card somewhere up here and you guys can see it. I still love Brave the Wave. I think this is a really classic, pretty style. This is Felicia by Henry Margu in the color 82733H. Oh, Felicia. This was my very first wig ever. And I hated it. I would totally buy another Felicia just to see how I feel about it 2 years later. Because here's the thing. This Felicia has been thinned, it's been trimmed, it's been steamed. I tried a lot of new things with this Felicia because I didn't like it. Looking back, well, let me just tell you this. Henry Margu has super comfortable caps. Like, Raquel Welch is my favorite cap, but Henry Margu caps are really comfortable. They're stretchy and have great coverage and just like snap on. Right from the beginning, I didn't even have to wear a wig grip or anything. And honestly, for this being my very first wig, that is a good thing. If I would have had Chloe by Envy as my very first wig, I would have struggled with buying another wig because of how that cap fit me. But Henry Margu caps fit beautifully. This is a basic cap. It still looks great. It still feels great. It's held up beautifully. These hair fibers have held up beautifully, especially after all that I have done to them. I mean, these hair fibers, they may be a little tangle. Well, yeah, I guess they are tangly. But man, they look really good. Yeah, I guess they are pretty tangly. But I think they've held up great. I think my feelings about Felicia have less to do with the wig and the style itself and more to do with my feelings around my hair loss when I got Felicia. My anxiety and everything was so high, and then I had to get used to a wig, and Felicia had a lot of hair when I first got her, so I had to get used to all of a sudden seeing a lot of hair on my head. Totally different style than I ever wore my hair, which don't do that. If you're buying your first wig, get a wig that looks like you. I don't know what I was thinking. And then get used to even wearing a wig. I could only wear this wig for like 30 minutes and then I'd take it off and then I would put it back on and I would wear it around. And this is a comfortable cap. Having something on my head, it was itchy. I got a headache. I was super bothered by it. I'm like, I am never going to be able to wear this out of the house. But I got used to it. Now, I mean, I've been wearing it for 2 years, so you'll get over it. If you're experiencing that right now, it gets better. So I would absolutely buy another Felicia. In fact, I tried to buy another Felicia. Last year, I wanted to do a 1 year, like full circle, buy another Felicia and do an updated review on how I felt about her now. And it was back ordered. I couldn't do it. And it was like back ordered still in August, the color that I wanted. I ended up getting another style and said, forget it. But yeah, I should do that again. I would love to buy another Felicia and see how I feel about it, because who knows? I might really like it. This is Ren by Aesthetica in R30 2826, and I just popped her on to end this video with. Finn is my all-time favorite wig. I love this wig. I've actually purchased another one just because this one has been worn to death, and the hair fibers are starting to get kind of dried out and fuzzy. And honestly, I didn't even notice it until somebody on Instagram was like, oh, I have a wig that's all dried out and fuzzy like yours. Do you have any recommendations? And I was like, oh, what? This is not dried out and fuzzy. This is my favorite wig. And then I was like, oh, maybe it is. And so I ordered a new one, and I mean, it is. I'm still gonna wear it. I love this wig, but my new one is just softer and silkier, and it does look better. So I'm wearing that new one more, but this is my original one. I still love it. Okay, that wraps up my wigs that I have reviewed in 2018. And then I think I'll do another video for 2019. Now, I started wearing wigs in June of 2018. So from June to December, those are the wigs that I just went through. There are some that did not show up. Kristen by John Renau in 27 MB. I gifted that to somebody going through cancer. I loved Kristen. I would not buy another Kristen because of the visible permatease. Mine had quite a nesty part up there, but I loved the hair fibers. I loved the permatease in it. I just didn't like that you could see it. So I think there are other John Renau's, like Christy, I think is maybe the upgraded one for Kristen, so I would love to try that one. Scarlet is the other one that did not show up today, and I had that one in Strawberry Syrup. I loved Scarlet. It was my second wig that I ever wore. Strawberry Syrup and my Scarlet was very brunette. I loved the style. Again, I gifted that one to somebody, and I would not buy another Scarlet because mine also had that nesty permatease up there that I just I got to where I wouldn't put it on because it's all I could see. I have Mila and Julianne, and so those are kind of the upgraded replacements for Scarlet. But Scarlet is a great style. It looks beautiful on almost anybody. So Kristen and Scarlet were 2 of my first 5 wigs, and I highly recommend those for first-time wig wearers. Those are really great classic styles. One's a straight bob, one's a mid-length curly or wavy. You can get both of those worlds for a great price point. So those are 2 really great wigs. Aspen is the other one, and I just don't have my Aspen on me today. But I still have Aspen. I don't wear Aspen because Aspen clumped up on me real quick. I simply believe that sometimes that just happens with wigs and with hair fibers, and it's nobody's fault. Everybody does the best they can with quality control. I just feel like some wigs last longer than others. And like I said before, you can have 2 of the exact same wigs, exact same color, and one of them's just going to last longer. And so for whatever reason, my Aspen, which is now Avalon, just didn't last for me. I think I would buy another Aspen. Now I don't know. I think I love this Finn, and I love Ocean, and I love Brooklyn so much that I don't know. Aspen is super cute style, but that all one length in the front, I don't see myself being super attracted to that anymore. I don't want to say it all because I definitely have wigs that are all one length in the front, and I'll probably buy other ones. I don't know. Nah, I probably wouldn't buy another Aspen. I think there's other styles, or I don't know. Maybe I would, because they've updated that Avalon. I need to call it Avalon. They've updated it and made it more curly, I've heard. So maybe I would. Maybe I would buy another Avalon. So those are the only ones that I did not do an update on today. Highly recommend all 3 of those. Kristen, Scarlett, and Aspen. And kind of my overall thoughts about how wigs have held up that I bought or received in 2018 is I kind of feel like the theme for all of them is that the hair fibers are drier and don't detangle as easily. I feel like all my caps have held up and all the hair fibers have held up. Like I feel like all the styles have held up. You know, they've gotten drier and tangle up a little bit easier. So, I mean, I think that's pretty good though. Year and a half, 2 years for a wig to last, and I wear my wigs. Like I almost always wear my wigs for 2 weeks before I even review them. And then I only review wigs, even the ones that are sent to me by companies, I only review wigs that I want to wear. I don't have, like if you notice, all my hair colors are pretty much the same. I get some rogue blonde one every once in a while that I'm never comfortable in, but I do that every once in a while. But I review wigs that I want to wear. The fact that they've held up as well as they've had, I'm pretty happy with, and I think that says a lot about John Renau and Gabor and Raquel Welch and Envy, Henry Margu, Aesthetica. I think it says a lot about those brands, that they're making quality brands that hold up year after year. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about these styles. If you have them, let us know how they've held up for you. And if you guys have any questions for me on any other styles that I've reviewed, I really like these kind of videos when other people do them. Like this is the kind of stuff I want to know. I want to know how a wig holds up. What does it look like after somebody's been wearing it for a year or 2 years? So if there's any other wig that you guys want to see me review, drop a comment below and I will start a list. I want to do more of these kind of videos, updating styles, and so let me know what you guys want to see. Okay, I'll see you in my next video.